Hi, I'm Tracy Faulkner from Lush Fabrics with your release for this week, the 14th of April. I'm here again with the same format as last week, so I have 4 new fabrics for you, including 2 new bases, and I have 2 rewind fabrics to show you as well. So the new fabrics, the first one is what I'm wearing, and this is a new base. It's called Cozy Sweater Knit, and it is indeed quite cozy. I'm going to show you the cut that I have here up close first, so you can get an idea of what this one is like. Look at that goodness. Isn't it beautiful? Feels really gorgeous. On the inside, let's look at the inside. It's actually very similar. Now, on that, when I was sewing this one up, I looked at the front and I looked at the back and I thought, yeah, no problem. I'll be able to work out which one's which. It was easy when it was in the one piece of fabric, but the entire sew I questioned myself as to whether I was sewing the right way or not. So a big tip from me is as you're cutting, just mark your wrong side so that you know and you don't worry about it like I was doing for the whole sew. I think it would be noticeable if you had one of them on the wrong side. I mean, I think they do feel different. And so that's why I thought I would be fine, but I just questioned myself the whole time. So perhaps just mark the wrong side as you're cutting this one so you know exactly what you are doing. This one, while it's got some real cozy factor, it is a slightly loose weave. Sure, yeah, so you can see that there. So when it pulls down, there are a few holes going through it. They're not holes, obviously, but there's some gaps in the weaving. So it is a slightly loose weave going on there, but this is quite cozy and warm and feels amazing. So I have made myself an unwind from Pattern Emporium, and I've used the cowl from the BUT. I did cut the wrong neckline and decided to give it a go anyway, and I actually think it's worked out just nicely. I'm pretty happy with the way it's turned out, even though it's not actually correct. My theory is if I like the look and the feel of it, then that is a-okay. So that's what I've done with this one. Now, this is 98% poly, 2% spandex. It's 280 GSM. What else can I tell you about it? I better show you the stretch, hadn't I? All right, so it's got some pretty fantastic horizontal stretch there. Not much going on vertically. There is your beautiful drape, isn't that gorgeous? So obviously amazing for a jumper, be great for a cardigan, it would make a cute top, dress, you name it. There's heaps that you can do, and I think you're gonna like this one. It is textured, as you can see, like it looks a little bit furry. I like that texture myself. I think it just adds a little bit of something different. So this color is called Magenta, and it is super pretty. Now I just want to fold it so I can show you the volume of this fabric. So all of our first cuts that we use in our video, they're around about 1 meter. Some might be a little more, some might be a little less. So this is your 1 meter of this fabric here. And then I want to show you the next one, which is a double brush poly. So I think a lot of you are probably pretty familiar with a double brush poly. And this again is a meter. It's a scrappy meter, but it's a meter. So you can see the difference in volume. Weight, I know a lot of people think, well, it's heavy, so it's going to be thick. That's not necessarily true. Yes, it can be sometimes, but it's not a given that if something's heavier, it's going to be thick. So I actually find showing you that 1 meter cut is a really good way to show the thickness of a fabric, because just showing you one layer, it's really hard to get the idea of how thick it is. Okay, so no coordinating fabrics with this one because it's a solid color, but I've got what number is that? 471, can't read it, in the Resant range for a coordinating thread. And this is a little bit darker, but 247 for the Mariflex for your coordinating thread there. Okay, so Magenta Cozy Sweater Knit. Hopefully you love it just as much as I do. Another tip, sorry, let me just go back while I'm on this one. So because this is a little bit thick and because it's fluffy, first of all, it didn't make as much mess as I thought that it would. It did make a little bit of mess, but I expected my sewing room to be pink after cutting this fabric, and it wasn't. There were just bits here and there. So that's some good news. Still, if you're due to vacuum your sewing room, perhaps wait till after you've cut this fabric, but it was a lot better. But because it was quite thick, I only used my overlocker to sew this because there's no hems or anything, it's all bands. There's a bit of thickness going through the overlocker and it created some very wavy seams. Every seam had quite the wave going, bit of steam on it, and they have come out just beautifully. So don't worry too much if you've got a seam that's, you know, like this. Give it a bit of steam and it'll sort itself out. But there is some thickness to it, so it's fine to get through the machine, but it certainly does feel thicker than some other fabrics do. Still, it's great to sew. Okay, that's enough on the Cozy Sweater Knit. Next is this amazing double brush poly. So we had this zebra print, I think we called it Teal, zebra in teal, a couple of weeks ago. Now we have this beautiful zebra in fuchsia. Is that amazing or what? I think it's beautiful. So double brush poly, of course, is gorgeous and soft to the touch. It has really, really great stretch both ways. Beautiful drape. It's lovely and light. It's like a t-shirt weight. Really good for a layering piece. If you wanted a long sleeve t-shirt, you could wear it, or sorry, you could make it just as a jumper like this if you wanted to, just down the line if you're in a warmer climate. It's great for leggings, it's great for dresses, it's great for pants, so many things. If you haven't used double brush poly before, do have a look under our fabric base information tab at the top of our website and have a read up on double brush poly. And there is actually a whole video dedicated to brush poly in there as well, if you're not sure what it's all about. Okay, this one, I couldn't find a Mariflex, but I did match it up with 1471 in the Resant range. There weren't any good coordinates to go with this one, but I have put these two in together as a release because I actually think these two look really nice together. They're not the exact same pink, but I really like them together. I think they're kind of cute. So zebra in fuchsia, double brush poly. All right, now I have an oversized waffle for you, and this is a new color again. So oversized waffle is like a sweater knit again. It's got quite a loose weave, so it's really great for this time of year when it's not as cold yet as we fear it's going to get. It's, you know, it's great for layering. If it is cold where you are, or, I mean, I've got a cardigan, I actually got 2 cardigans in this fabric, I think 2, and it's really great before the cold really sets in or once it's leaving us, you know, so spring and autumn, it's a really great base to wear. But you can see here how loose that weave is. It is pulling down on its own weight here, but you can see it's quite a loose weave, but it's a really beautiful texture. You see that texture there? I'll go get my face out, then it'll focus on that texture. So this one's called Arabian Spice, this color, and its stretch is really good. So yes, it's looking very see-through here, but once it's up against your body, it's not like that at all. All right, so it's 64% poly, 34% rayon, 2% spandex, 180 GSM. And I have no coordinating fabrics and no coordinating threads for you, I'm sorry. I could not find anything that would match. So this is Arabian Spice, oversized waffle. Now I have another new base for you. Again, it's a very winter base. This one is called Braid Jacquard in Teal, this one. Let's open this up. Actually, let's bring it to you first so I can show you the beautiful texture. We've got a lot of really nice textured fabrics coming in now, which I really love. I think texture can really add to your outfit without it being busy or anything like that, but just give something that little bit different. Means you can have some more plain colors in your wardrobe, which is amazing. I mean, prints are beautiful, but at some point you do need to have some plain colors so that you can coordinate. So this one here is 97% poly, 3% spandex, 220 GSM. So fairly lightweight. It's not overly thick, this fabric. Should have showed it to you in the fold, shouldn't I? I'll do that shortly so you can see, get an idea of the thickness of it. But it'll drape just beautifully. So whether you make yourself a dress out of it, a jumper, a cardigan, or if you're in a really cold climate, it could be a layering piece or a long sleeve t-shirt to go underneath your clothes. So let's check out the stretch. It's really good horizontally. How about vertically? Yeah, it's got a little bit going on there, which is great. And look at that beautiful drape. It's just gorgeous. So this one will be lovely sewn up for winter. I'm just going to fold it again so that you can see how bulky it is. All right. There we go. So you can see it's not massively bulky. I have, here we go, here's a double brush poly that I've already got folded up. So you can see it has more bulk than that, but it has less bulk than this cozy. All right, that is Teal Braid Jacquard. No matching thread again, unfortunately, just couldn't quite get the color right. And when it's a solid color, there's really less leeway. If there's a print, you can get away with a bit more variation. All right, now for our rewinds, and I have two. I have my assistants, Molly and Polly, here to give me a hand with them. And we're going to start with this one first. I'm just going to adjust the camera so you can see Molly a little bit more. Okay, so this one is called My Heart, and it is a super soft heartchi. If you started watching my videos last year, you would have heard me going on and on and on about how beautiful and soft and amazing super soft heartchi is. So here is the start of it again for winter 2024. I love this fabric base. It's not a thick, bulky fabric base. It's quite light. It's 180 GSM. It's a polyester base, but it feels so beautiful. If you're in a really cold climate, you're gonna need to layer. I'm in a mid climate here and I need to layer all the time. Whether it's store-bought or whether I've made it myself, I always have layers on. So to me, it's just another day getting dressed for winter, having to put layers on. That's just the way that I roll now for winter. All right, so this one has really beautiful stretch. Where's the cut of fabric so I can show you? I'm chatting away with Molly and not showing you. I need to show you. It's so soft. It's beautiful. Love it. I've got jumpers out of this. I've got a couple of dresses as well. I love the dresses. They feel really beautiful. All right, check out that gorgeous stretch. And there's your drape. Now I'm going to show you the print up close because it's very sweet. Got on a bit of an angle there and the colors aren't coming up terribly well. It is a very pretty pink with like a mid pink in there as well in the hearts, and then like a brownie burgundy for those darker hearts. So that there is a better reflection of the color, and Molly is wearing it well. Okay, now we had already had this perfect pink waffle coordinated with this fabric. So they look quite pretty together. And again, you've got those different textures when you put these two together. So that's really nice. And that was already one that we had. We did also have Auburn cotton spandex, but that has now sold out. And that was going to match with these darker hearts here, but that one has now sold out, unfortunately. Next one we already had was this so soft. It feels beautiful. Carnation pink soft hand sweater knit. This is just gorgeous. Imagine wearing the two of these together. It's like a hug all day long, I think. So that's really nice, and that matches with this mid pink that's here in the hearts, which I know it's probably a little bit tricky to pick up here. This one is photographed on the website, so you can go onto our website and hover your mouse over the image and it'll zoom in for you so you can see it a little bit better. I do have a couple of new colours though, and we don't have those photographs, so you are going to rely on what you see here in the video to determine if it's a match that you like or not. So dark musk is a new coordinate that I have found for this one, and my purpose is to match him with that mid pink heart again. So this dark musk is a double brush poly, so they are really pretty together. And last option that I have for you, another new one. This is another double brush poly, and this is the Chintz Rose. And I think they are pretty good together. I guess the Chintz Rose is just a tad darker. I don't know if it's as dark as it's showing on the screen, but it is a little bit darker, but I think it looks really pretty. Now, I do have a thread for you as well, which we didn't have previously. So that wasn't linked on the website. So 1651 in the Rasant range is a good match for this one. All right, so that is My Heart Super Soft Heartchi. This is a Lush Sunday Rewind, or one of them for this week, and it's going to be reduced in price for today only. Now, let's turn this around and let's go say hi to Polly, and we'll talk about this next Rewind fabric. This is a double brush poly, and this one is called Eventually in Grey double brush poly. Now this one's a little bit trickier because I really can't find any interesting coordinates to show you with this. It's grey, it's ivory, it's very dark grey, almost black. So obviously colours would look amazing with this one. So our new cozy would just look beautiful with this. I do love a bit of a pink and a grey. So putting a nice bold colour in there is one way to coordinate this sort of a fabric. Now, we did originally have ivory double brush poly down as our match, which is of course lovely, looks really nice. The others that we had though are now sold out. So I have put together with this one from last week's new arrivals. This is the dark grey faux cashmere rib, which I love. I kind of wish I'd brought the cardigan that I'd made in, and then I just could have put the cardigan over Molly, but my planning wasn't that good. I did not think of that until about 20 minutes ago. So there goes that idea. But I really do like those together. I think they look really great together. You know, it just gives some depth of colour in this one, just to match in with those darker colours there. So this is the dark grey faux cashmere rib. Now, because, I mean, I like to put black with so many different outfits, and what I did to make it a little bit more interesting is I got a more interesting black. So this is black faux feather, which is a base that I really like. It's a little bit furry, but I just love the texture that it brings to something that's almost a little bit drab in color. You know, I'm a big fan of grey. I love the black. I love wearing all of those colors, but you know, it could do with a little bit of life really. And I love the texture of this faux feather with it. I think it looks beautiful. I do love the faux feather, so It's got some lines in it. This is the end of roll. That was the end of roll section that I just showed you, but it's very, very soft, this fabric. It feels beautiful. All right, and then my last option for this, and it's going along the texture bandwagon again, is this Snow White faux wool. Came back into stock last week. Where are we? And I think this would add some really gorgeous texture as well. Just makes it that little bit more interesting, I think, with the texture of those. Okay, now we've already matched this one up with the Resant 132, but I was also able to find a Mariflex, which is your stretch thread. And this one wasn't linked on there, so 702 is the match for this one. All right, that's everything that I have for you today. I'm gonna straighten up a little bit there. Perfect. So please do enter our competitions. They're in our Facebook group and on our YouTube channel. We have 2 $25 Lush gift cards to give away there. So do check those ones out. Everything is now on our website ready for purchase. I do hope you love the new bases. They are really beautiful and certainly worth a try. So all on our website, www.lushfabrics.com.au. I hope there's something in here that you love this week, but I will be back next week with some more fabrics. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.